Hello, I'm Maria Garcia, licensed massage and bodywork therapist, and this is Rob Bishop, certified personal trainer, and today we're going to be talking about hip dips. So I'm pretty sure most of you know what hip dips are. You know, they're those dents everybody complains about, especially as ladies. So usually like right around this area, it'll be a little dent, and a lot of us with higher hips, sometimes we'll get that fat up here. And also we have a lot of weakness here in the glute medius. So the trick to minimizing that is losing some of the fat on the hip and gaining strength on the glute medius. And I have a workout routine that I do that helped me a lot, and that was the ab wheel. So I usually will do about 15 ab wheel rollouts, and I'll do that about 3 times. And then the other exercise is this one. Maybe Rob could give you the name for it.
Yeah, so this is just going to be a fairly straightforward, like a lying leg raise, single leg raise. But one of the cues that you want to focus on when you're doing this movement is having your heels and your hips in a line. You don't want to let your heel trail in front of your hip, because that kind of takes the onus out of your glute medius and the muscle you're necessarily trying to target. Yeah, and there's a lot of other things you can do. One important thing to keep in mind when it comes to, say, hip dips and the presence of hip dips is not necessarily that you're doing something wrong or there's something wrong with your body. A lot of the time it's just where your natural genetic muscle insertion takes place. However, for a lot of people that doesn't necessarily make it an easier pill to swallow. So there are exercises that you can do that can kind of like target building up that area, including curtsy lunges are a good one, because you get that lateral movement out. So like with the curtsy lunge, I'm trying to demonstrate this. So like you're kind of taking that plant leg on your lunge behind you a little bit, and so you get that movement here out of your glute medius and coming up. And even just a basic like air squat where we're really focusing on keeping our knees strong and preventing them from collapsing in can really help to target that area of our glute. A basic almost either elbow supported, like a clamshell raise. If this is too simple, you can band around the quadricep, band around your calf region, and clamshell. Fire hydrants and bird dogs. So like a fire hydrant where you're going out that way and you're getting the movement out of your hip. Bird dogs where we're straightening and even pausing or doing like a bird dog retraction there. So a lot of movements that can target your glutes. But part of it is just repetition and sticking with a routine. Like the abdominal rollouts won't necessarily target that glute medius directly, but what it does is from the stabilization. And if you find ab rollouts to be too difficult, or you don't necessarily have a wheel, doing side planks where you're getting that stabilization, so like side planks here, or even like a hip dip there, you're really trying to drive that hip into the air so that here and here is engaging. Again, spot targeting for fat loss is not really a thing that you should strive for. General health and addressing things. But again, the presence of hip dips does not mean that there's necessarily something wrong with you. A lot of it is just the genetic muscle insertion, but it is definitely something that you can work to building up the muscles around there and help limit the bugaboos that you might find when you look in the mirror and you got a little you want to work on something, you see some influencers hitting. So there we go.
All right, well that was Rob Bishop. So yeah, how many times would you say, like I do sets of 15, I do 15 sets. I do 3 sets of 15, and then one of the things that helped me when I was starting this workout was that I would do it up against the wall and make sure that I was dragging my foot up against the wall. So for me, that was what really helped me really minimize it. And I know it's, your physical appearance isn't the most important thing, your health is, but, it is what it is. We want to look better, we want to look how we want, and working out and seeing the results you want is something that really motivates people. So it did help me. As you can see, my hips are pretty rounded.
Yeah, and as far as like a rep range or something on your lunges, There's not necessarily a magic number. The magic number is going to be whatever you're striving for and continuing to progressively overload that movement. So if doing body weight lunges for a curtsy or even like a seesaw or a front to back or a reverse lunge, if no added weight is difficult, great. Once you get to where you're hitting like a hypertrophic rep range in the like 12 to 18 range, and you want to add a little weight to the movement, either on your shoulders, in your hands, in a rack position, overhead, any way that you can change up the movement and then continuing to build up your rep count or the added weight that you're able to do with the movement will just help to build and strengthen that movement.
All right, well, those were my tips and Rob's tips for reducing hip dips. I hope you guys learned something today. If you could subscribe, like, and share. Have a good day.